Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show, and we are hotline.net. And joining us today is the founder and owner of Your Main Event. Please welcome Samantha Nicole to the show. How you doing, Samantha?
I'm doing great. Nikki. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Now, are you originally from the UK?
Originally from the UK. I was born in London, England.
Wow. I have yet to go to Europe. I'm dying to go to England. I actually have distant relatives in Manchester.
Oh,
and so there's a link there. Have you ever been to Manchester?
Funny enough, my parents are originally from Jamaica, but they moved to England in the 60s, and Manchester was one of the first places they moved to. So my actual brother and sister lives out there, so I'm very familiar with Manchester.
Okay, so that I guess maybe that was the course for a lot of immigrants coming from Jamaica, because I'm originally Jamaican, and my relatives moved directly to England, where my parents moved to Canada. So there's this diaspora, and I guess those are the passages of immigration for West Indians in the 50s and 60s, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So a little history there. But tell me about your history, and how did you, what was your background leading up to creating Your Main Event?
So originally when I graduated I went to the London College of Fashion, and I done fashion design and technology, and been very artistic. Always had the flair for fashion, always looking for new trends, and ended up at a company where I done all their events, and volunteered at different corporate events, and I always knew that England wasn't going to be like my main home to grow up and raise my family. I just had this instinct that it would be somewhere else, not knowing it was going to be Canada. But when I graduated, I had the opportunity to come here and absolutely just fell in love with the place. In some way, it does relate to England, which was great. So I was familiar with a lot of things that were going around in the fashion industry, as well as event planning. And leading up to that, I always worked for a company, and I said, no, I want the opportunity to have my own business. And I had the opportunity to come to Canada, and I actually joined a franchise called Sweet Beginnings, and they're based in Vancouver. So they gave me a head start. They were already established. They had a website up and running. And I thought that was the perfect way to get my foot in the door, so to speak. And it kind of really grew from there. I was very fortunate that everything kind of fell into place in terms of meeting new clients, having different hotels approach me, advertising Elegant magazine, and doing the major national bridal show. So it kind of all really began from there. I just kind of grew a great team that kind of stood behind me. And after a while, I still felt that I was still attached to, working for somebody else, going through head office to do certain things. So again, I went out on my own, and somebody who came up with a name, Your Main Event, and it was so fitting for what it was. So it meant, it was for everybody. It's Your Main Event. And
fantastic.
That's my taglines, So I love it. I so enjoy it, and that's how it actually all began.
Wonderful. Now tell me some of the services that you offer.
Okay, so I specialize in day of coordination and pre-planning, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be a wedding. Also corporate events, it could be sweet 16 birthday parties, and again, it can just be small functions. So some people they don't want the headache of going out there looking for halls and looking for vendors, looking for photographers. So they normally book me probably like a year in advance, so I can work with them, visit, the location where they'll have their event, or, sit down with them and just to look at photos and just give them ideas. So, my job is to make sure, I come up with, what the client needs, So we sit down, we look into the ideas, we send off quotes to them, and kind of just revisit them which is really good. So I do dev coordination, I do decoration. So if you're looking for elaborate backdrops, if you're looking for centerpieces, if you're looking for arrangements for maybe a ceremony, and again, corporate events, we take care of all of those needs. So that's one of them. And, you know, we have a little bit a different side, you know. So we work with people who do mining, who are part of my company. You know, some of us are singers, so we did a little bit of that. So we throw different things in, you know, and over the years we found out that a lot of people don't want to go too far. You know, obviously a lot of people use the internet to get ideas. So we've kind of tried to make it like a one-stop shop, you know, and make it easier for our clients. So that's the majority of what we do in the company.
Fantastic. Now, working with people, you must have seen some transformations. Can you think of a situation where you saw someone really bloom from your direction and guidance?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I actually had a couple who lived in Vancouver, wasn't very familiar with Toronto, actually came to Toronto, had found me, and explained that, you know, they had a circumstance where, you know, they had went to another event planner, things didn't really work out. They, you know, apparently they said you were referred by a hotel. We heard that you've done a friend's wedding of ours, and we just want to sit down and meet with you. You know, we don't want to be stressed out. And I sat with them, and although we were planning their event and their wedding, which was 6 months prior to me meeting with them, sorry, not prior, after I met with them, 6 months into us me meeting with them and planning their wedding. It's so funny how you sometimes get into a situation where, you know, people are very comfortable with you and they're very open about their family life and about just their lifestyle and, you know, and where they're going, you know, after they get married. So sometimes I find that we become counselors, which is great sometimes, you know, and we become very good friends. So just pushing the business side aspects of it, you know, people are very comfortable. And, you know, when the day comes and this particular client of mine who got married, I saw her on the day of her wedding, and she was crying, you know, and kind of went into a panic because, like, is everything okay? And she's like, I cannot begin to tell you how much this means to me. Yes, the day looks amazing. You know, you've brought this vision to life, and I'm in awe of it. But she goes, one of the most fundamental things I'm going to remember about you made me laugh throughout all of the things that went on prior to us getting married. You had a listening ear. And I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope to continue the relationship. And for me, that just made everything. Putting all business aside, you know, woman to woman and human to human, that made me happy. So I take that into consideration, you know, when people come back to me and, you know, they build a relationship, they have children, they call me back, say, hey, you know, we're having a baby, we want you to get involved. That means a lot to me, you know. Yeah, that's one of the things.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, how have you been transformed by working with a number of these individuals?
One is, I feel a bit, you know, because first of all, it was a bit frightening, you know, being in a new country. You know, it's almost like you have a new identity. You have to make new friends, and obviously most of my family are still back in England. So it's good now that I've built up a rapport with a lot of my clients and friends that, you know, they've stood behind me. You know, I've been nominated for the 100 women first. Sorry, I think it's nominated for Black women, the first 100 Black women in Canada.
Yes.
So I'm actually entered the film. I'm doing a little bio on that. That's coming up. I've also been in Elegant magazine, and that's due to people who've seen me and have written into the magazine to, hey, you've got to get Samantha in here. You know, and just people that are approaching me for numbers of things. So it's changed my life. It seems, you know, I've worked with every single ethnic background you can think of, and people trust me. So for that, it's transformed me a lot, you know, and kind of matured me because I'm also a little bit giddy and funny and stuff. So here's the side of me.
That's okay. I have a little silly side too, and you're going to see that when you come to my show, and I'm going to ask everyone to do some karaoke singing. I think it's okay to get out of your comfort zone and just be a little goofy once in a while. You know, and then jump back into the, safe zone, and then, back and forth. Yeah. But, it's a wonderful thing, to, have individuals like yourself because, we need people to kind of keep structure in terms of, planning to be spontaneous, so to speak. So let's talk about some of the trends that are happening for weddings. I know the wedding season is really, we're hot into it right now. It started in May. It will be starting in May. So what can we expect now for wedding trends? What's new?
Oh, what's new? Oh, my goodness. So what they've done, I mean, last year the trend was very old style, vintage. Everyone bought back pearls. They bought the Great Gatsby theme in, lace, all that, fancy stuff. Now what they've tried to do is incorporate some of the contemporary, modern versions of stuff and still kind of giving that little tweak with the vintage stuff. So, some people still get married in the barn, but then you'll still have the elegancy of having like crystal chandeliers or, very contemporary modern sofas, which is, going to be out this year for sure. Like even with the colors, like navy blue is crazy. Navy blue is crazy for both male and female. Like they love it, And then some of the guys that are transitioning to wear like this blush pink suit. Wait, it's always been that tradition with like charcoal grey or black suits, but now they're kind of transitioning. They're doing the navy blue. They're doing that nice deep maroon color. And a lot of people are still sticking to the trend where you have this whole winter wonderland themes. You have actually a lot of people are doing a lot of gothic themes as well. So, you'll get black sequins with a mixture of different elements of skulls that happens, and it happens across the globe in terms of that trend. But yeah, but this time around they're really trying to mix it in, because some people, they don't necessarily want to have a really rustic barn wedding. They still want to have this nice, bougie, elegant look to it. So now they're kind of mixing it in. So that's going to be one of the things that's going on. Yeah.
All right, that's fantastic. That's looks really cool. And I saw that trend with navy blue, and it looks so beautiful on so many different skin tones. So I was really, I'm really like that. And I'm sure people listening now are dying to get to know about how to reach you. So what are your contact information?
My contact information, I'm based out I've got a showroom in Toronto, which is at 42 Goodmark Place. It's Unit 5 in Toronto. I can be found at www.yourmainevent.ca. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook at yourmainevent.ca. All these youngsters, all these young brides is like, hey, why don't you be on Snapchat so they can share their wedding pictures with me? So I'm on Snapchat also. You can find on LinkedIn. My contact number, which has been the same contact number, is 416-720-2240. So yeah, I'm here. I travel a lot, so you can find me anywhere. I go anywhere. As a team, I've got an amazing team, absolutely amazing team. We've stuck through some really crazy times, really fun times. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to chat, and really excited to meet you face to face. And if you just tuned in to the interview and you missed the beginning, not to worry. We're going to be playing the interview throughout the month on wearehotline.net, Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to noon. So I just want to thank you, Samantha. You've been amazing, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh,
thanks again.
Thanks so much, Nikki. Okay.
You're very welcome. You have a great day.
And you too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.